All right, so I'm going to give you an example of the distressed multifamily loans kind of on the market and available right now. So here we have this 20-unit property, right? New construction, just built 2022. It looks great. But here's what I'm talking about. So let's say we look at the property, just built 2022. There's a loan on it for $2.6 million, which the current owner has on it right now with a lender. He's trying to sell it for 3.5. All right. And now let's just do the math on it. I mean, they're saying it's a 6 cap, right? So if someone paid 3.5 million in cash, they would get a 6% return on that cash, which is not that great, But let's look at it. Okay, so remember, this guy just built this 2022. He wants to sell it. I don't know if he owes money. I don't know if this is so. He needs to sell it, right? He has a loan, 2.6 million, it's 20 unit. Okay, so if we look at the actual rent roll, 20 units, we have here's the rents, 1,400, like 1,500, 1,000, all right, 13, 17, pretty high, 15, 15, 15, 12, 15, 15. So pretty much top market rents, right? And it's bringing in roughly 23,000 a month, 26, 27, 28, 25, mid 20s, right? So here's the NOI every month, right, for the past 12 months. And he's got here listed his mortgage expense, right? So on the $2.5 million loan that he has, 2.6, this is his mortgage, interest expense, right? So 15,000. So look at the income, right? Let's see if we can zoom in here, but 18,000 NOI, 15,000 just in mortgage. Here's the thing as well. I don't see anything on taxes. I don't see anything on insurance here as well. This is just mortgage payment interest, as far as I'm concerned. I would want to see a tax, section and an insurance section. Even though on the sale the tax portion would move, it would change. So if he bought it at whatever 2.6, he's paying tax on 2.6. If whatever it sells at, the tax is going to adjust to that, go higher or lower. But that aside, it's bringing in 17. He's paying mortgage 15, so he's making $2,000 this month. 23, 14, he's making $9,000. 17, 14, making $3,000. $2,000. So not a lot of money he's making right now with the current loan in place at 2.6. This is not including taxes and insurance payment, by the way. So this payment here that he owes every month could be higher. Could actually be hemorrhaging money. Plus, all right. So in total, we deduct everything. The total income every month is 231. Current, I'm just underwriting this deal, right? See if it makes sense, right? So 231,000 current income with the current mortgage that he's paying, right? Not including what the new taxes would be, not including insurance. I don't see an insurance tab here, right? So just that alone, with the current interest he's paying right now on his current loan, it's profiting 67,000 a year, which is like $5,000 a month, which is not a lot. And this does not include taxes and insurance. I don't see it anywhere here. Not here. If we look right, expenses, let's look through management fees, everything. I mean, I don't see. Here's the rental income. There's no taxes. There's no insurance. These are major costs. That's probably another $5,000 in cost in just that. So that wipes out all the cash flow. Right? But yeah. So now where did they get the 6 cap from? That's on the listed here. How did they get that 6 cap? They just took 231,000 divided by 3.5 million, which is what they're selling it at, and that's where they got that 6.1 or whatever. But that's if someone paid cash 3.5 million for 6, not even including the taxes and insurance, which is another $5,000 at least. So if we take away that's $60,000 a year. You take away from this number, so that's you're left with 160 probably. No, 171. So 171 divided by 3.5. It's a 4.8 cap. It's less than a money market 5%. It's nothing. It's garbage. So this is wrong right off the bat. It's like more of a 4 cap at this price. So let's say, okay, no, it's not going to sell for this price, right? It's fine. There's another thing here. This is the hidden part. This is the hidden distress part. This loan, 2.6 million, 5.81% interest rate. Can't get that now. If you were to get a new loan on it, it would be higher. But 2.6, loan due date, July 31st, 2024. This loan's due. this loan's been due, so the lender is extending with the owner. This loan should have came due. He's obviously, the owner's trying to sell this. It's been on market for 100 days. So he's trying to get rid of it. The loan's already come due, so the lender is already, extending it with the current ownership.
All playing the game right now. It's called pretend and extend. They don't know what to do. If the cat gets out the bag that they're sitting on all these bad loans, the bank is only worth what the loans are worth. So what's going to happen? This stock's going to go down the toilet, and they're going to go out of business. We've seen banks go out of business. That bank in California, Republic Bank, I lost $1 million.
Now, I don't think that the lender is panicking right now, because they have it at 2.6. At a very minimum, he's got it at cost on the property. So the worst case scenario is the lender knows, okay, maybe this owner's equity is wiped out, but at least we're kind of covered here. So maybe that's why they're extending it. They're not calling it due right away. But the loan's already due. Owners needs to sell it. But let's run this number at, if you were to buy it at 2.5 million. See, that would be much better. If you came to this lender here, Lima One Capital, you came to them and say, hey, I want to buy this loan. I want to buy this property. Because look, if you can't sell for 3.5, they're going to have to sell it regardless. This owner, I don't know what's going to happen if he's going to lose money. But the loan's due and they need it. He needs to sell. You come to Lima Capital and say, hey, I want to buy this loan. I want to buy this deal. They don't want to manage this property. They don't want to, take foreclose on it, take it back. They want a buyer who's going to take it over. So if you come to them directly, because at this point, the loan's already due. The owner's in a very bad position where they don't really have a lot of negotiating power here. Lima One's the one that's extending the loan. So if I go to Lima One and say, hey, I want to buy this loan, I'll get you out of it. Maybe not right now, but in a few months or whatever, they're going to say, okay, take the loan off. We need our money. So that's what I'm thinking, that 2.5 purchase, right? For 20 units. And now, brand new construction, 20 units, 2.5 is not a bad price. So let's say we underwrote it at 2.5 million, right? So we already know there's no way it works at 3.5 purchase. But let's say it was a 2.5 purchase with $1 million down. So you're getting a loan for 1.5 million. Now the monthly payment makes a lot more sense, right? With the current rates, about 10 grand plus taxes and insurance. The taxes on this, let's say 90%, this is for this county. The tax rate will be 90% of the purchase price. It would be roughly $41,000 a year. So that's right there. So we're at 10,000 plus 41 divided by 12. That's 3,400. See, the taxes are now a small amount. That's 3,400 a month, by the way. So the fact that none of that stuff's on here just shows it's just not on. I don't know why it's not on there. But and that's a purchase price at $2.5 million. That's $1 million under what it's listed for, and the taxes are $3,400 a month. So plus insurance, since it is a brand new construction, it's going to be a little bit better insurance rate. But yeah, that's $3,400 in taxes plus, let's just say $5,000 conservatively on taxes and insurance on top of the mortgage payment, right at 1.5. So this is, you're buying it at $2.5 million, $1 million lower than the listing price with $1 million down, $1 million down, and you're getting a loan at 1.5. So that's already $15,000. So that's brings you closer to this number with the monthly expense with $1 million down, right? You got a $1.5 million loan plus tax and insurance. Then you're looking at these numbers. Then these numbers you can actually kind of make it work here with the current rent roll, and it's still not great. I mean, if it's similar to like this 17 and 16, 15, 16, you're making a few grand. You're making literally $67,000 a year, which is $5,000 a month. So $1 million down for $67,000, a year. I mean, people do it, sure, but that's that's a 6 cap right there. That's a 6 cap on your $1 million, not even on the full purchase price. But, that's why I'm looking at it and saying, first of all, 3.5 is way off, but even 2.5. Okay, let's just take this rent roll, right? Take this rent roll. Some of these rents right here, these current rents, at $1,800. I mean, if we look at what's around here right now in this area, like top market here it's at 1374. So any slight stress on the tenant side, we could have vacancies here coming through, because 1,800 is crazy. People will move. Yeah, I get it. It's new construction. You're gonna get the highest market, but to me, when I was looking at this seems pretty, especially what we're going into, little crazy. I would be kind of more conservative, but yeah. So 18, there's a bunch at 15. Hopefully they all stay, right? But these leases come up all this year. All these people moved in 2022. They're all expiring this year. Some have already expired at this point, but they all expired 2024. So let's say they wanted to leave, and you say no, you want them to stay. You give them a better rate. At most, you can't raise, but at worst, you might even drop price a little bit. So this role could become even a little weaker. But keeping that aside, just keeping it how it is right now, $67,000 in cash flow, it's not amazing, and that's at the current loan value. The current loan value, the owner would lose a few $100,000 with these numbers in place in mind. At buying it at $2.5 million. So the fact that it's listed for 3.5, it's been on for 100 days. I mean, that's not going to happen. But my point is that there is hidden distress here in these multifamily loans, and if you were to go to Lima Capital, which is the mortgage holder, may be able to work out a deal with them at some point. And you need a good amount of cash down, but I mean, even then, it's not great. It's not amazing, but that's kind of what's going on. This is the distress that's out there right now. So just wanted to point that out. It's pretty interesting to me, looking at this. So I figured I'd show it to you. And on these, you have to ask yourself, I mean, so the lender's not freaking out yet because worst case scenario, they could sell it for 2.6 and get out of it, But so they haven't had to do that yet, but they're extending the loan. I mean, the loan's already been due, and they're obviously extending it with the owner. This rate's not, you can't get this rate anymore. But they haven't had to sell it yet. But the worst case scenario, they're not freaking out yet because they could sell it at cost and get all their money back. In theory, right? At least right now, they're not calling anything due. They're not feeling any pressure yet. But I think very soon, and maybe even right now, if someone were to go and contact Lima, this is the mortgage holder, and you reached out and say, hey, I'm looking at buying, I got X amount down. I can, I want to buy this. I want to buy this property. Let's make a deal. Maybe not right now, but very soon they're going to start taking these deals, and they just want out. They just want their money back. That's really all they want. They've already got their interest. The guy's been paying them interest on this. They want their cash out. And at some point, even getting under this would be achievable, and they take a few $100,000 hit, but they get majority of their money out. So I think it's very doable. This is the type of distress that I'm seeing on loans right now. I mean, this property specifically, brand new construction, if you can get close to, the 2.5 range for a 20 unit, we're talking about a great deal here. I mean, as a long-term hold, you can't build it and you can't buy something for close to 100K a door, even 2.5 for brand new construction for 20 units would be worth it for sure. So this is the type of distress I'm talking about here where, the loans come due, doesn't make sense right now, even at anywhere near this price. We went over all the numbers on the rent roll. At 2.5, I mean, it's a 6. It's at 2.5. It's a better deal, but it's definitely interesting. Especially since this is probably not the only lender and deal like this right now on the market. There's probably a lot like this. A lot of lenders in this same position as Lima Capital right now. So it's definitely interesting, and I feel like these are the type of people you also want to make relationships with right now. These mortgage, and these lenders, especially if you're able to perform on a deal like this, because they're going to need to sell, and they don't own real estate. That's not their business. They lend money. So you find enough of these type of deals, these type of lenders, I think you can find some seriously good deals, because at $2.5 million for 20 units brand new, we're talking about a great deal, especially on a long-term hold. So it's definitely interesting. And this is the type of distressed loans right now on multifamily that's kind of hidden. It's like the loans already came due. This has been sitting on market for 100 days. But it's not a big story yet. But this is the seeds for something, because it's not going to sell for this. Like, it makes 0 sense at this price. So it's definitely interesting.